Here we go. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. We are so excited for this Covet session. We have on Lacey Gebo, owner of Salon Lace and LG Education. She is an amazing coach that can walk you through the mastering the art of hiring a co-stylist and the challenges that come along with it. We're really excited for her to dive in and share all of her tips and tricks that she's learned from hiring, from recruiting, and everything that goes in between. So I'll hand it over to Lacey.
Thank you, Katina. Hi, guys. Happy Monday. I am glad to be with you guys today. Even if you're watching a replay of this later on, whatever day of the week it is, I'm glad you guys are with me today. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share, and we're just going to dive right in because we got a lot to cover today. Let me screen share. All right, give me a thumbs up. Can you guys see my screen? Yep.
Yes, we can.
Yep. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and present this and we'll just jump right in. Okay, cool. All right. Today we're going to be talking all about hiring co-stylists. So everything that goes into hiring. You know, a lot of people want to grow their teams. And as an extension artist, and I'm speaking to the Covet community right now, so assuming a lot of you guys are out there are working with extensions, it's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. It is so much work. Like you have a whole nother head of hair that you're working on, and it's more work. So some of you guys may be thinking in this season of life, I need to maybe work with an assistant, or how do I get help behind the chair? Or how do I grow my team? And I am so thankful for Katina and Dafina and the Covet community for allowing me to come on and share my knowledge with you guys. I've been doing this thing for a while. I'll get to my story here in a little bit. But as we enter busy season 2, a lot of you guys, we're coming into November, December, and it is 2 of our busiest months of the entire year. I want to make sure that I'm setting you guys up for success, that if you want to hire on someone, let's get going. Let's get the ball rolling right now so we can have a co-stylist and someone working side by side with us into the busiest months of the year. So feel free to ask questions, even if you guys are catching the replay a little bit later on. You guys can always shoot me a direct message on Instagram. You can email us. Like, I'm an open book. Feel free to message me at any times if you guys have any questions at all. So you're going to leave this challenge and this training. We're calling it a challenge, but it's technically a training with all the tools and confidence needed to hire on a co-stylist behind the chair. Okay, we're going to be going over recruiting, interviewing, and hiring. And by the end of our time together, I guarantee you will be ready to officially start hiring. I'm going to guide you guys every step of the way. So how to get the most out of this training. I want you guys to turn off distractions, all right? Go ahead and silence your phone, shut down all the browsers, ask questions, be involved, and believe in yourself that you have what it takes to lead and grow a team and work with a co-stylist behind the chair. All right, we've got some bonuses for you guys for the Covet community. We've got quite a few. So the first one is our fail-proof interview questions. So if you're like, okay, I want to hire someone and I'm going to have to interview this person, what do I ask? We're giving you guys our best interview questions. Stay with us till the end. I've got Mel on right now. She'll be putting those in the chat box. And then with the replay, it'll be in the email on the replay as well. So our fail-proof interview questions you guys are going to be getting. Our assistant position application. So an assistant, a co-stylist has to apply to work with you. We're giving you guys our template. It's literally a copy and paste. You can make a copy and you guys will have our template and our application so you guys can start putting this on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your website. Apply to be my co-stylist. So we're giving you guys our exact application. Also a job offer letter. We're going to make it official. So when you ask someone to come on to be your co-stylist, we want to offer them a job offer letter, and we're giving you guys that as well. And our assistant pay calculator. So we have 4 bonuses for the Covet community. So really from the beginning, you might be thinking, what do I pay a co-stylist? What is it going to cost me? We have a calculator for you guys. So just for showing up today, just for watching the replay, you guys are getting our assistant pay calculator. Okay. I don't know why all of you guys are on today. Maybe you guys thought, oh, co-stylist, and like your ears perked up a little bit, or maybe you just might be thinking, I need to make a change inside my business, or I've got chairs to fill inside my salon. I really need to grow my team. You might be feeling burnout right now. Some of you guys might be thinking, I don't know what my next steps are. I'm really tired behind the chair. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. You might be burned out. Some of you guys might feel stuck in your business, might not know what the next step is. You might be on a hamster wheel. And I've been there so many times behind the chair of making the same amount of money month after month. And you're saying, how do I get out of this? How do I reach that next level of success? Some of you guys want to make more money. Who doesn't want to make more money? Raise your hand. I know I do. I feel like everyone in this industry, you always want to be leveling up. You always want to be getting to the next stage. And working with a co-stylist is definitely a way that you can make more money behind the chair. Some of you guys might want to work less behind the chair. That's another one, is saying, I want to cut back. I don't want to be behind the chair 5, 6, 7 days a week anymore. I'm already behind the chair 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day. So if you want to work less behind the chair, it might be time to hire. You're way too busy and you need help. How many of you guys think I'm drowning in clients right now? I need help behind the chair. I need help managing all the things inside my salon. Like there's a lot going on. Maybe I just need help on social media or with inventory, or what can you delegate as a salon owner to get some of the things off your plate and onto someone else? You need a team. You cannot do it by yourself. So you want to hire a co-stylist, but you don't know where to start. You're not sure where to even start. So you're here today for a reason. So I'm glad you guys are here. All right, I want you guys to meet Rachel. I created Rachel in an image of me several years ago. Rachel works 5 to 6 days a week behind the chair because she's so busy. She's booked out. She's tired, exhausted, and spread thin. She's making the same amount of money month after month. She wants to hire on a co-stylist, but she doesn't know where to start. She's juggling all the things. How many of you guys can relate to Rachel? Me. Totally. And now I want you guys to meet Taylor. Taylor works 3 to 4 days a week, 8:30 to 3:30, and she's able to pick up her kids from school. What a dream schedule. She has energy and time to work on her business. She's consistently bringing in around 15 to 20K a month, and she's 100% confident that she can hire and train a co-stylist and help them achieve their goals. So when I created this image, this graphic right here, I said, what does this dream person look like? What does she drive? Who does she hang out with? What kind of type of house does she live in? What type of wardrobe does she wear? What's the schedule like? Like I really mapped out this dream artist and said, what does that look like? Where is that benchmark of where I want to become? All right. So which one are you? I want you guys to tell me in the comments. Can you relate more with Rachel or more with Taylor? And sometimes I'm going to be honest, there's seasons of life where you're like, I'm killing it right now. I'm in Taylor mode. Like I'm doing pretty well behind the chair. And then there's other seasons of life where you might be drowning and you say, I'm struggling right now. I don't know what my next steps are. And that's okay. There are seasons of life, but I don't want you to live in the Rachel mentality. I want to get over it sooner rather than later and live more of the Taylor mentality. Let me see in the comments. So Camry says both. I love that. Me too, girl. Me too. Okay, so whatever your motivation is, I want you guys to know that I fully support you and I've got your back. I want you guys to win. That's why I've partnered with Covet. That's why I'm doing this session right now. It's like, I want to share my knowledge with you guys. I've got a lot of knowledge with working with co-stylists. What works, what doesn't. I don't want you guys to make the mistakes that I made. I've lived it and I've burned through a lot of co-stylists. I've hired and fired a lot of people, and I'm here to share my knowledge with you guys. So thank you guys for showing up today. So a little bit about my story. My name is Lacey Gebo. I am a salon owner in Claremore, Oklahoma, very small town. Married to Tommy Gebo, my husband. I've got Taylor, my 6-year-old little boy, and then Hallie Marie is my almost 3-year-old little girl. I don't know how she's almost 3. We went to Walt Disney World a year or so ago, and that was kind of like a bucket list. I was like, I want to take my kids to Disney World, and we finally had the chance to go. So I wanted to share that image with you guys. But I'm just a small town girl in Claremore, Oklahoma, and I've had my salon since 2013. And I'll share more of that journey here in a little bit. And yeah, it's been a journey. I quadrupled my income in 2020. I hit $20,000 a month for the first time working with a co-stylist. And I can tell you, there's no way that I could have ever hit $20,000 a month behind the chair by myself. Could I have working maybe 7 days a week, 12 hours a day? Maybe, but I didn't want to sacrifice. I wanted that work-life balance. It would be really hard to do that by myself. So working 2 to 3 days a week and bringing in $20,000+ a month, it's doable, but you got to have more hands. You can't do it by yourself. All right. I've trained 4 other educators inside my salon who train their own assistants. So when I say an educator, I'm talking about someone else in my space that has their own co-stylist that is training their own assistant. And then I completely stepped away from behind the chair in 2021. So I'm actually no longer a stylist. I've completely retired in November of 2021 after I had my daughter, Hallie. And so now I get to educate you guys all over the world. I feel like I've been pouring back into Rogers County and Salon Lace for the last 10+ years. And now because of this online virtual platform, I get to pour into artists and salon owners all over the world. And for that, I'm super grateful. It's a humbling feeling to be able to do that. And I feel like the impact is just spreading like crazy. So thank you for allowing me to be in front of you guys today. Okay, a little bit about my own business journey. Going back, opened my first salon in 13, opened my second salon in 17, had 2 locations, 28+ employees between both locations, split from my business partner, rebranded, started dabbling with extensions in 18, 19, fired all my clients and only did extensions, very quickly built a full-blown extension clientele in 18 months. I grew fast, very fast. A lot of it was through social media. I was pouring into my business like crazy. I was investing in education. Covet come along. We had Covet come in and do concealed tailor blades, came in and certified the whole salon this last year. And that was amazing. But it's been about 10+ years working with assistants and growing my team. So it's been a journey. So, okay. Can you imagine? I want you guys to think for a second. Shut your eyes. I'm going to do an activity. I really want you guys to just imagine for a second. So even though we're virtual right now, shut your eyes. I can see some of you guys. Think for a second, what would your life be like if you only worked behind the chair, maybe 2 or 3 days a week? And if you're at 2 or 3 days a week right now, what if you only worked 1 day a week behind the chair? All right. And doubled your income or quadrupled your income by training a co-stylist. What would change in your life? What if you had that time and freedom back? And I remember there was a time where I was working 6, 7 days a week behind the chair. And I thought, no amount of money is worth this anymore. I wanted at that time to almost burn it all down. I said, I wanted to switch industries. I didn't want to do this anymore because I was the yes girl. I said, yes, 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 all the time. How many of you guys can relate with me right now if you're the yes girl? And no amount of money is like worth it. You just want that time back. You guys can get that time back. All right. So open your eyes. You guys can come back to me for a second. What would change? I want you guys to be honest. Tell me in the comments right now, like what would change in your life if you were not working to even, I feel like the salon owners too, that I'm speaking to out there right now. If you own a salon, you know what it's like working behind the chair 6 and 7 days a week, because sometimes you've got to go in and do inventory. You have to go in and clean. You've got to manage your people. You've got to do, bank deposits and everything that comes along with owning that salon. And it's overwhelming. It's hard to do it by yourself. And something I see in a lot of salon owners out there is you're drowning in all the tasks and things. And I'm saying, you've got to multiply yourself. You got to have a team supporting you. And that's where the freedom comes into play. And that's why I'm here today, is to give you guys that flexibility and that freedom back by growing your team. And you can do that starting with an assistant program, starting with growing co-stylists from the ground up. We got a chat in here. Let me see. Working the schedule I have now, but able to fit more people into a day. Yeah. Can you make more money and work smarter the time that you're in the salon behind the chair? All right. Okay. So where are we going? We're going to be talking about the 5 recruiting areas. We'll dive into that in just a second. So I truly believe there are 5 areas to recruit. And I'm giving you guys those best places. Where do we find our co-stylist? 3-step interview process. How do you interview? There are 3 steps that I swear by for an interview process. We're going to talk about how you can work with me and then open up to Q&A at the very end. As always, you guys can put questions inside the chat box, but we'll also go into an open Q&A at the end. Okay, where are you going to find that perfect fit? The 5 recruiting areas. Number 1, the cosmetology schools. We got to get inside the beauty schools. Those stylists are looking for their forever homes. That is our biggest pool of applicants. And I know I've seen it out there recently where there is this stereotypical, I only want experienced stylist, only apply if you have 2 to 5 years of experience. And I'm just going to call BS on that right now. I don't believe in that. I believe that there are amazing, amazing artists out there going through beauty school right now. And why would we pass up on that? You can train anything. We want to hire nice people. Train the skill. We're going to hire the personality. All right. Cosmetology schools, we've got to be in them. We have to be in the beauty schools. Number 2, client referrals. Number 3, social media. Number 4, current assistant and team. And number 5, employment platforms like Indeed, Craigslist, and LinkedIn. So we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, cosmetology schools. Actually, before we even jump into this, hey, Mel, can we go ahead and put our challenge guide in the chat box? If you're watching the replay, you guys can check the email. This will be in the email as well. We have a guide going through all of this. It's an accompanied PDF guide that has everything on these slides going over the 5 recruiting areas. So I want you guys can follow along on that guide as we're going through this. Okay, I want you guys to reach out to 2 to 3 beauty schools. That's the first thing, is your local beauty schools. And if you don't have one locally, let's say it's like 45 minutes away, maybe it's an hour and a half away from your town, still go get in the schools. You might not know that a student driving from your town an hour just to go to school. There are people that commute. Do not underestimate people that want to come work for you as being a teaching salon. They might drive. We have people drive from Kansas. We have one artist that lives almost an hour and a half away, and she drives to Salon Lace because they want to be at the best. They want to be at the best, all right? Write this down too. Highlight this, star it, circle it. Take a sign-up sheet, you guys. You want to be in the driver's seat. So when you go and you speak to all the students, get information. Get their name, get their phone number, get their Instagram handle. 3 things: name, phone number, Instagram handle. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can put it on this top of just a spiral notebook and pass it around. Now the ball is in your court. You can reach out to these students. Let's say there's someone in the front that's asking all the questions and you're like, oh, I really like this person. And there might only be 2 or 3 out of the whole school that you would maybe ever hire. Maybe they don't fit in to your company, or maybe they don't match your grind or your brand, but 1 or 2 is going to stick out. And then you can reach out to them and say, hey, I loved being at the schools today. If you're interested, I'd love to set up an interview. Put the ball in your court. Do not forget a sign-up sheet. All right, list of topics to teach. We are giving you guys that inside the Co-Stylist hiring guide. If you're like, what do I teach? We have a huge list for you guys to start racking your brain about what am I going to teach when I go to the beauty schools. So go look at the guide and you guys can look at that list. And then here's a script on what to say. When you reach out to those 2 to 3 beauty schools, you're going to say, hi, my name's Lacey Gebo. I own Salon Lace here in Claremore, Oklahoma. I would absolutely love the opportunity to come and teach a class to your students. I would enjoy sharing my knowledge and expertise with your students. Salon Lace has several job opportunities that your students may consider upon graduation. That's it. Stop talking. You can email that. You can send a direct message on their Instagram, on their Facebook. You can call the school, talk to the admin. The whole point is to keep trying. A lot of you guys call one time, leave a voicemail, and you're like, well, they never got back with me. You have to be, I'll say, gazelle intense about hiring. Like, you got to be on it. If you're recruiting, you're recruiting. Call them every day until you get into the schools. And if that school says, nope, we're not taking guest artists, find another school. All right. Okay. Number 2, client referrals. This one's going to seem like a no-brainer. Talk to your current guests right now. Tell them that you're looking to hire and ask them if they know anyone in the Cosmo school at the moment. You might think, oh, they don't know anyone in beauty school, but maybe Karen sitting in your chair right now or next week has a niece that just, signed up for beauty school. You just don't know. So talk to all your clients. What this is also going to do is it's also going to get their ears to perk up to be like, oh, she's hiring a co-stylist. Your business is about to change. They're going to start asking questions. It's starting to prepare them for what's coming. Their experience is going to change sitting in your chair. So start currently asking your clients right now if they know of anyone, and they might not, and that's okay. but this is one area that you might be surprised where 2 or 3 of your clients actually know someone in beauty school right now. Okay, social media. This is obviously, let's recruit on social media. Post on social that you're hiring. You want to make a hard post or a reel and post on your stories. One time is not enough. We cannot make one post and just be like, okay, good to go. Or no one reached out to me. You guys only made one post. I'm talking 3 to 4 days a week to start getting some applications coming in. All right. So I'm going to give you guys some examples. Here's some posting ideas. You guys can take a screenshot of this. We also have them inside of the guide. You guys can click on them and see all of our post examples. So you can post a picture of yourself and say like, guess what? The time has come to look for our next best teammate, or make something on Canva. You guys can be creative, make it your own brand, but we need to be either putting out reels or posts and letting people know that we're hiring. Same with stories. Guess what? Salon Lace is hiring. Here's the details. Here's how to apply. You have to break it down Barney style, as my executive assistant would say, Mel. Break it down Barney style. How do I apply? Where's the link? What's the details? What's the hours? What's the pay? Do you have to be licensed? Not. You need to include all of that in a job description. And here's an example in the stories and inside the guide too. You guys can actually get this template. Okay. Number 4, your current assistant and team can help you recruit. So utilizing your current co-stylist and team to help. I'm 35 years old and I'm not going to relate as well with these students as my co-stylist that's 20 is going to relate. So take your co-stylist with you to the beauty schools. If you're nervous too and you're like, I don't want to teach in front of a class, or I'm super nervous, take someone with you. Take 2 of your stylists with you. And if you work by yourself, you're going to have to muster up that courage and go do it. All right. But a lot of times, relatability as your co-stylist right now that just graduated from that school, they're going to know some of those students. They're like, oh, I went to school with her. I went to school with her. So take your co-stylist with you if you have one right now. And then your team too. When you're posting, tag your teammates. You want to tag anyone that's in your salon, even if they're commission, rental, any of your suite mates, tag them and say, hey, will you share this? It gets it out there further and further, and your pool gets bigger. All right. So don't underestimate your current assistant and team helping you recruit. Last but not least, employment platforms. Indeed, Craigslist, and LinkedIn. These are just 3 that I would recommend. Try it out for 30 days. If you guys do not get any bites, you don't have to relist. Some of these you're going to have to pay for, and some not. But let's say you do it and you're like, oh, this is bringing a different pool of applicants. That's okay. And it's not always that these young stylists are going to be on these platforms. Their mom and dad might be, and they might come across something that sees, oh, this salon is in my town 15 minutes and my daughter's getting ready to graduate from beauty school. You never know who knows who. It's about getting it out there more and more and people talking, and they share it with someone. Or maybe someone's aunt is on Indeed and they're like, hey, I saw that Salon Lace is hiring and my niece is in beauty school. You should go apply. All right. And then they go check you out on Instagram. Then they see your hiring post. Then they apply. That's how all of this works out. So I do think that you should be on these platforms. Try it for 30, 60, 90 days. And if you don't want to relist it, you don't have to. We have videos on how to go and create your job listing on all 3 of these inside the guide. So you guys can go watch a step-by-step video once you guys get inside that guide. Okay. Any questions thus far? That's the 5 areas. Any questions at all? Let me pull up the chat box for a second. Schools, Camry says, your curriculum is the same. So having new people in the school keeps everything fresh and new. Yes. And then we got the challenge guide in the chat box right here as well. Okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome. All right. The entire recruitment process, like I said, is about getting as many pool of applicants as possible. You're going to be pulling from all these different areas because honestly, it's hard, especially in Oklahoma. We can only hire licensed cosmetologists, which means our pool's kind of small. We can't just hire anyone. They have to be licensed or have their work permit of completing their hours. All right. So make sure you're jumping in all those pools when you start recruiting. So I want to know right now, what is your guys' biggest fear around hiring on a co-stylist? Tell me in the comments saying, I don't know if I can afford it. I'm scared of what my guests think. Maybe it's control. A lot of you, it's going to be pay. So let me know, what is a fear of yours? And if you're watching the replay, be thinking of that right now. I'd love to know what a fear is around taking on a co-stylist. All right. I want you guys to meet Bree Morgan. Bree Morgan is an artist and salon owner in Troy, Ohio. In 2019, she brought in around $1,200 a month working by herself. $1,200. She was just starting with extensions as well. In 2022, she brought in $9,200 a month with one assistant, Ariana, right here. She's so sweet. And then in 2024, you guys, 2 years later, she's bringing in $27,000 a month, and she has two co-stylists behind the chair. Look at the stats, guys. Look at the balloons. We're celebrating right now. Look at those balloons going off. You guys, numbers don't lie. Look at this. $1,200, $9,200, $27,000 a month. You have to think too, you're a co-stylist when you're not in the building, Saturdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, when they take on their new talent or their protege shift, there's revenue coming in and you're not even in the building. That adds up with time. All right. So if one of your goals is to just increase your revenue and you're already doing so with, working with Covet, doing concealed, all the things is increasing your bottom dollar, a co-stylist can increase it even more. It can take you to an entirely different level. Covet Mate said, someone asked, I'm a perfectionist and want to bring someone on without feeling like I'm lowering my client experience while training. This is so good. This is control too. And I always say it's hard in the beginning. I was terrified to let go of the control, terrified. And I thought she's never going to blow dry my client's hair like I do. Never. She's not going to be able to get the volume that I do, all of it. If your assistant, co-stylist, we use those words interchangeably, is not performing up to your standard, we need to do a better job training. You can train someone to do anything. And that comes back on getting models in. That comes back on making sure they're recruiting and not recruiting, but posting on social media to get models in and fill their new talent shifts. Like if they're saying they're not growing, they're not getting models in. Okay, what's their marketing effort look like? Let's go look at their social media. What does that look like? Are you doing one-on-ones with your team? We talk a lot about this inside LG Education. And it is a fear as far as like, I don't think my guests are going to get a great experience. They're going to feel like they're shuffled around. People can do it wrong. And I'll say there's a right and wrong way to work with an assistant. And inside LG Education, we do not want you working with more than 2 guests at any time. If you have 3 or 4 guests at a time, it's too many. It's then you can feel like a conveyor belt, and we don't want that. I truly believe when you have 4 hands working on you and you get the ultimate Beyonce experience, it enhances the guest experience, hands down, when done properly. All right. I love that question. Camry says, I listened to the podcast this morning. By the way, I have a podcast. It's called the Level Up with Lacey podcast. It's all about leadership development and assistant training. She says, one of the things that you said was always be hiring, which I agree. But if one of the people you had in your list moves on. Oh, what if one of the people you had in your list moves on? Are you talking about a new hire? Like they quit, Cambry? Let me know what you mean by that. You should always have your ears and eyes open. Always. The biggest mistake that I see salon owners make is they wait too long to hire. Way too long. And it hurts the co-stylist because the co-stylist is ready to go out, but you don't have someone else coming in. And then they can't grow anymore because they're stuck assisting you all the time. I see that a lot. She says you have an assistant, but the person you want next moves on. Oh, get back in the schools, get back to hiring. And that's happened before too, as far as like your next one coming in either takes the job somewhere else, all right? Or they just decide, I don't want to work with you, or whatever happens that falls through the cracks. Get back to recruiting, get back to posting, get back in the schools, get back on the employment platforms, all the things, because you got to find your next co-stylist. Do you let them go if they aren't up to your standards with socials? Or what if they are active and nothing is working? Do you help them dive deeper? Camry, are you talking about, let's say your current co-stylist is not posting on social media, they're not keeping up with your social media commitment? All of this, I feel like, comes back to one-on-ones too, is are you setting that expectation up with them in the very beginning as far as what you expect with social? We have a social media commitment that we have everyone sign inside of our company. You guys get that commitment inside LG Education as far as like they're committing to this many days a week to their growth, and then holding them accountable during those one-on-ones. And if they're not holding their end of the commitment with time, they're either going to part ways or you're going to let them go. I feel like it's not a good fit if they're not growth oriented, if they don't align with that core value inside your company. That's a great question. Yeah, they're posting, but their strategy isn't working. Ah, okay. That's where I feel like education comes into play too, is not just putting all your eggs in one basket when it comes to marketing, is making sure that, do you have a funnel? What's your online booking look like? What's your website look like? All the things, as let's saying, like, do they need to invest in some other type of education to help them get booties in their chair if social media marketing is not working? And I do feel like we're pivoting right now inside this industry. Things are changing rapidly right now. So I'd say seek education for sure. And if you can't give them that as the salon owner, can they, enroll in something else out there that's other education inside, whether that be like, let me say, for instance, like Thriver Society, Blonde Chronicles, join a community, join some sort of education where that can level up if you as the salon owner cannot provide that. And I say that all the time inside Salon Lace. I'm like, always, always seek more education. Do you pay for that because they're your employer? Do they pay for it? Ooh, good question. If you are commission-based, I would pay for it. So as a salon owner, if they are commission-based underneath you, you have an education fund. As long as it fits within that fund for the year, you pay for it. If they've maxed out that fund, no, that would come on their dime. If it's rental-based, they pay for it. Great question. All right, let's dive into our interview process. All right, a proven interview process that will help you find that perfect co-stylist. All right, write this down. All right, phone call number 1, coffee date number 2, shadow day number 3. And I'm going to tell you why we do it in this order. We're very particular as far as keeping it in this order, hiring the right team members. Number 1, phone call. We're going to start with a phone call always. This will eliminate any not so great fits right off the bat. Doing my hair and makeup is a chore and a task. Why would I get ready, do my hair and makeup, meet this person at the salon or at a coffee shop, and then within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm never going to hire this person. This is not a good fit. The phone call screens people. It lets them know, are they saying any red flags on the phone? Is their availability not match up with the hours needed that you're needing them to work? Maybe they're bashing their ex-employer. Maybe they can't start for 6 more months. I don't know. I'm throwing things out there, but it's going to eliminate any not so great fits right off the bat. All right. Number 2, coffee dates. Next, we're going to invite them to coffee. Go to your favorite coffee spot and get to know one another. What you're looking for, there's 2 things inside the coffee date. Write this down. Are they early? All right. Were they early? Did they show up on time? And number 2, what did they look like? They're going to look the best they've ever looked during the interview. I promise you, they're going to look the best they've ever looked. If you're like, she's wearing dirty tennis shoes, or, she has no makeup on, that's probably a red flag. So those are the 2 things you're looking for in the coffee date. If the coffee date goes great, you've got your list of interview questions that you're grabbing from this covet session in just a second. Ask them all the questions. Then we're going to invite them, if it goes really, really good, to shadow. Come inside the salon and shadow me. You're going to invite them into your space. Can you see them fitting in, and can they see themselves fitting in your space? Put a limit on the time. When I say put a limit on the time, we don't just want to say, come Friday anytime. We want to say, come Friday, 9 to 11. Come Monday, 1 to 3. If they linger all day, it can take away from the guest experience. And we want them to come at a day where you're actually working behind the chair. We want them to see what the flow looks like. So we want to put a limit. And by the time you get to the 3rd step of the interview process, you're going to know this person pretty well because you've already done a phone call, you've already done coffee dates. So they probably know what to wear. They've creeped your social media. They kind of know your vibes and stuff. It's going to go so much better. This is why I saved this for the very last step of the interview process instead of the first. A lot of people do it backwards and they're like, come on in. And then they show up and you're like, oh my God, this person's a reflection of who you might hire in your company. And you did it all backwards. We really, really want to save them coming into the salon for the very last step of the interview process. It's also a blessing. It's a huge privilege. If I'm inviting you into my space, I like you. That's a huge deal if I'm inviting you into my space. All right. So write these 3 things down. These are tried and true. I swear by this. We've been doing this about 10 years inside Salon Lace, and it's how we've had some of our best co-stylists and best hires that we've ever hired. All right. Teaching and training the next generation of stylists is one of the most rewarding things you will ever do inside your career. All right, Olivia Yeager. This is one of my good friends in Fayetteville, Arkansas. In 2019, she was bringing in around $7,300 a month. She was booth renting at a salon and she did not have an assistant. In 2021, she started working with 2 assistants in a suite. She was bringing in around $16,000 a month. And then in 2024, this past year, she's bringing in close to $24,000 with a full staff salon. And she's working with 1 co-stylist behind the chair. She's the little one down here with the glasses. She now has, I think she's grown her team 5 or 6 more team members since this photo. I'm like, she is proof. If she can do it in Arkansas, you can too. There's no difference. She has the courage to hire and hire and hire. And she's like, I'm going to go out on my own. I want to open my own salon. It's been incredible watching her journey and her growing her team. And I'm watching her flourish like crazy right now. She is a true testimony of growing your team members and taking some of that weight and all of the stress and everything off your shoulders. And really, like, she has a whole team now, a leadership team, someone helping with inventory and social media and all the things. And I could not be more proud of her. She's a great friend of mine. So good job, Olivia. Okay, Michaela, she says, Lacey has so much value. Hiring an assistant with Lacey's help was the best decision I've ever made for my career. Thank you, Michaela. Courage comes before confidence. I want you guys to write this down too. You've got to have the courage. Confidence is going to come with time. Action creates clarity. We have to take action. Clarity will come. So will courage, or so will confidence. All right. So courage, courage, courage. Can you have the courage to jump into the school? Can I get the courage up to make the hiring post? Can I have the courage to go talk to the schools, to start talking to my clients that I'm going to be hiring? We've got to have the courage. That comes first, you guys. All right, so here's the truth. If you really want to gain the confidence in training an assistant, you're going to have to be a beginner first. We're all a beginner at everything. Remember when you started working with extensions? Remember how bad you were at coloring that weft? Remember how bad you were at the beadwork? You sucked. It's just like anything at first. You're going to have to be a beginner. And I can promise you, if you stay with us along the way, we're going to help you get over that way faster than if you did it alone. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much more. And I truly believe that. All right. So training co-stylist is the single most powerful and strategic way to make an impact in our industry while growing your income and business so you can earn the freedom that you so desire. So knowing what you know now, can you see yourself hiring? You're saying, okay, I know the 3-step interview process. I know where to look. I've got the assistant pay calculator, the job offer letter, the application. You're ready to hire. Are you much more confident right now than you were 40 minutes ago? Would you like me to virtually hold your hand through the entire process of training a co-stylist behind the chair? So you've got 2 choices. You can go at it alone, and a lot of people do, or we can do it together. So I want to invite you guys. We're opening the Assistant University right now just for the Covet community. We actually don't open the doors until Sunday. So Sunday, October 27th. And we're opening it early just for you guys because I love Covet. I love Katina. I love Defina. We want you guys to be a part of our community. We want to help you. If you need help with hiring, training, because now you're like, okay, I've hired, I've got this person. Now what do I do? You're going to come that time where what's the curriculum? How do you train? How do you have crucial conversations? Like all the things now. The Assistant University is the only online training in our industry that shows you exactly how to grow your income by implementing the most modern, efficient assistant program inside the beauty industry so that you can train co-stylists, cut back your time from behind the chair. This is where your flexibility and freedom live, you guys. So what's inside the AU? Let's go over this. All right, we call it the AU for short. Stands for the Assistant University. There's 4 weeks. It's a short program, you guys. We go through it fast, 4 weeks. Week 1 is the foundation. We've got to set everything up, the pricing, compensation, tip outs, everything. Week 2, we dive into education. What does the curriculum look like? What are you actually teaching your co-stylist behind the chair? And then week 3 is coaching and mentoring. That's a big week. How do we coach these people? How do we mentor? How do we do one-on-ones? And then week 4 is scaling. We actually talk about salon retreats, charging parts plus labor. What if you want to train trainers and other people inside your space to take on their own co-stylist? Week 4 is all about scaling your business. And that's one of my favorite weeks. All of this is a total value of around $1,900. Here's what you're going to put into action. We're going to create your ultimate assistant guide. It's your handbook, your policies, your procedures. You're going to decide what to pay in a co-stylist. How do you set up payroll? We're going to walk you through every step, all the new hire paperwork. You're going to nail down your co-stylist education and curriculum. You're going to nail down what you're teaching them every 3 weeks. You're going to master one-on-ones and learn how to coach and mentor. You're going to learn how to strategically book with the co-stylist. Now you've got another set of hands. We're going to change the way you book so where we can get more guests in, where you could do 2 maintenance appointments back to back or 2 new installs if you want to, and create an unbelievable salon culture and build the ultimate dream team. So what does it cost to work with me? We film academies. Our top offer inside LG Education, we actually fly out to you, film all your systems, processes, put a whole online virtual training together, and in 6 weeks, deliver it on a silver platter. It's a $20,000 offer. For any keynote speaking or trainings, I charge $5,000. And for any 2-hour consulting calls, I charge $2,000, but I actually no longer do one-on-one calls anymore. Every coaching, everything that we do inside is with the AU. So I don't do any one-on-ones. More of it is group inside the Assistant University. All right, but the price of the AU, lifetime access, you guys will get the entire Assistant University for $11.97, and it never expires. So after the 4 weeks, if you're thinking, does it go away? Can I rewatch these videos? Forever access. If you think you want to take a break for 6 months, come back in a year, you can rewatch the videos anytime you'd like. Come back in there. It's never going to expire. All right. Everything inside of the AU, like I said, it's about a $4,100 offer with the bonuses that we're going to go over in just a second, all for $11.97. You guys, I'm not special. Like I said, I'm a small town girl in Claremore, Oklahoma, who has big goals with the drive and determination to smash them. If I can do it, so can you. I've rebuilt my team twice now. Twice. I've had a salon walkout. I've pivoted my niche from doing cuts, colors, barber cuts, perms, manicures, pedicures, everything to extensions only. If I can do it, so can you. So you can get started today. We're going to go ahead and put in the chat box and then in the email too. So if you guys are watching this replay, we'll put it in the email, your guys' link to go ahead and get started. We also have a payment plan option. If you guys thinking, hey, I don't have $11.97, I don't have $1,000 right now. Can you get started for 6 payments of $297? We have that option. And for the Covet community, I have a discount for you guys. So just for the Covet community, you guys are going to get $200 off. Use the code COVET. Take a screenshot of this right now. It is going to expire November 5th. That is when we close the doors into the AU. So you can use this code all the way up to November 5th if you want to join us inside the Assistant University. And I'd love to have you guys. The Covet community is very special. You guys are near and dear to my heart because you guys are niche specific, a lot of you guys. And it is, a lot of our program is catered to extension artists because that's what I was. Salon Lace is very much so extension based. So we teach you in the extension world how to work with co-stylists. So make sure you guys take a screenshot of this, use the code COVET. It'll say like coupon code when you're checking out and you will get $200 off. If you guys use it on the payment plan option, you can get started today for $97. $97 and then 5 additional installments. Or the $11.97, it'll bump it down to the full pay of $9.97. All right. Okay, so what's inside the 4 training modules? We have 4 accountability calls. So you're not doing this by yourself. If you have questions, bring them to the accountability call. We've got videos, audios, PDF guides, cost calculators, Canva templates, and some really cool bonuses. So one of the fast action bonuses right now, the Blueprint to Building Your Business mini course. If you come on with us and you watch this replay, all right, you guys are going to get the Blueprint to Building Your Business. This is a mini bite-sized course that we have. If you're not ready to take on a co-stylist just yet, like what do I need to do? What benchmarks do I need to hit? How much money do I need to bring in to be able to afford it? Start with the Blueprint. It's a mini course that's going to challenge you to level up your leadership so you can prepare for an assistant, so you can do it right the first time. No feeling unprepared or burning through assistants. You guys can binge this in a couple hours. One weekend, you could go through the Blueprint. So if you're like, I want the AU, but I'm not quite there yet, start with the Blueprint. All right, so step-by-step virtual handholding. You're going to have access to the training videos. You're going to have access to the famous Blueprint to Building Your Business mini course. You're going to have our 4 accountability calls, and we have accountability pods. So inside the AU, we really, really encourage you guys to get an accountability pod, to meet with them weekly, to talk to other salon owners and artists going through the same thing that you are right now. So if you're brand new to this and growing your team, there are so many other people out there that are brand new as well. They're going through the same thing. So we want you guys to get in an accountability pod. So you might be thinking, what if I get stuck? I hate working with numbers, and paying an assistant scares me. That's where you come to the Q&As. The 4 Q&As are a $9.97 value that you guys are getting for joining us with the Covet session right now. 4 live Q&As that we're going to have. What if I don't have a team yet? It's just me. I don't know if I'm ready yet. That's where the blueprint comes into play. Watch the benchmarks. Watch how to enhance the guest experience. Watch how to level up on social media. We've got incredible resources in there just to start, so you can bring in more money behind the chair, even working with it, doing extensions, to help you to prepare yourself working with a co-stylist. All right, last but not least, if I don't have a lot of time, I'm so busy, maybe you've got 3 kids, 4 kids, Lacey, this seems like a lot of work to put together. And I know I thought that. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, to put an entire curriculum and training program together, I don't have time for that. We're giving you guys our digital assistant training board. So this little training board, baby, right here, we're giving you guys the template. What is this? This is a virtual training for your entire team. All you guys have to do is change the cover images on this. You guys can put in your resources. You can start putting in training videos. You have our template. We sell this digital assistant training board for $1,800. And you guys are getting it for free when you join the AU inside of this Covet session. $1,800 for free. It's an incredible bonus, you guys. And it's taken us 10 years to create this. There's no need to reinvent the wheel or the framework. Use our pre-training part 1, pre-training part 2. What does your assistant do on day 1, day 2, day 3, and so forth? This Trello board is, I like to say, chef's kiss. All right, so once again, you guys can take a screenshot of this. We've got the URL at the bottom. You can get started today. 6 payments of $297 or 1 payment of $11.97. Use the code COVET, all right, to get the discount. So you guys can take a screenshot of that. You get $200 off. Once again, the bonuses, we've got the 4 live Q&As, and the blueprint to building your business mini course, and our digital assistant training board. And then the blueprint right here, we've got that again. Okay, so quick review of the details. When you guys click on the link, you're going to see the Assistant University pop up. You can join now right here. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to see best value out of $11.97 or the most flexible at $297. So choose which option works best for you. Then you're going to see right here is where you put in the coupon code. You can put in Covet right here, hit apply. It'll knock $200 off. Fill this out. Will take less than 2 minutes. Then you're going to get a confirmation page that says you're in. Welcome to the Assistant University. You're going to get a text message. You're going to get an email. We are very tech savvy inside LG Education. So make sure you check your text, check your emails. Then you're going to log in. This is what the platform looks like. You're going to put your email and your password. It is hosted inside Kajabi. So if anyone's familiar with Kajabi, you can download the app and then you can go through the program on your phone if you'd like, or you can do it on a computer. And then you're going to see your bonus right here, the blueprint to building your business. Start here if you'd like, and then jump into the Assistant University. All right. Then you're going to watch the welcome video. So week 1 is released on November 6th. So it's a drip course. Every Wednesday a week is released. You can go ahead and watch the welcome video today, and then week 1 will come out on November 6th. That's the day that we're starting. All right, so I don't know why you're here. You showed up today, even though you're incredibly busy for a specific reason. All right, you might be feeling stuck. Some of you are saying, my business is not making enough money. You're the primary service provider keeping the business afloat, and you're unsure of your next move. You're tired. How many of you guys are tired right now? Tired of working behind the chair, tired of doing 2 sets of hair. I say, when you're an extension artist, it's a lot of work. You're tired. You're trying to run your business and you want more freedom and are ready to take a step back from behind the chair. Some of you guys just want more. You say you're ready to pass on your knowledge and truly grow a co-stylist and grow a team. Now, here's the catch. We have a 14-day risk-free guarantee. If you do the work and you show me your results within 14 days of enrolling and you're still not satisfied, we're going to give you a refund. No questions asked. We will gladly give you a 100% refund in 14 days if you say, this isn't for me. No questions asked. All right. That's how much we believe in the assistant university. You guys saw Bree's stats. You saw Olivia's, Michaela's, the testimonies of people that are doing incredible things inside their salons, all from bringing on team members, from hiring co-stylists. And last but not least, I'm going to tell you guys about Ashley Gunderson, and then we'll wrap it up. Ashley in April of 2023 was bringing in around $6,700 a month as a solo artist. 6,700. And I can relate with that. That's about what I was doing before I brought on my first co-stylist. In April of 2024, so a year later, she was bringing in $20,000 a month. So this past April of this year, 2024, she joined the assistant university and hired on her first assistant, and her income catapulted. She used our strategies and our framework inside LG Education to strategically book. And you guys can see she sent me her square reports. And this was on Instagram. This was inside of a DM. She said, I'm sitting in the car just looking at my numbers and I'm blown away. I can't believe it took me this long to get an assistant. Everyone should take your program. I was like in tears when she sent me this. This is impacting other people's lives. And to know that like I've made a difference in her life and so many other people's just by teaching you these small principles, you guys. It's not rocket science. Anyone can do this. If Ashley can do this, so can you. So once again, here's the URL. Here's the covet code. Use the code covet. And last but not least, you might have doubts. You're saying, I don't know if I'm a good enough leader. Some of you guys might be thinking, I just don't know if I'm equipped to lead someone. Start with the blueprint. That's where you start, you guys. If you don't have time, I'm saying time is a huge thing right now. You guys have our digital assistant training board. You don't need the time. You can plug and play inside of this template. Michelle says it's so amazing how much you explained as it went through the course that got better and better, covering things I never thought of. I felt so confident in hiring and how to treat assistants and how to prepare them. I can't thank you enough. She's hired 3 assistants since starting the program. She can't wait to keep hiring and getting more and more organized. Thank you, Michelle. Okay. So let's go into Q&A. Oh, last but not least, if you guys want to book a call with us, anyone on LG Education's team, myself or any of our team members will jump on a 15-minute free call. We're going to put it in the chat box and in the email. So book a call with us. If you're in an interesting scenario or an interesting, let's just say situation where you're like, I don't know, I want to bring on someone, but I don't know if this is the right program for me or if it would work in this situation, talk to us. We will jump on a free call with you guys. So we'll put that call link in the chat box and we'll put it in the email as well. Okay, grab your bonuses. You guys have waited the whole presentation. Thank you guys for staying with us. There is a link going in the chat box. In the email, you guys can get our fail-proof interview questions, the assistant position application, job offer letter, and our assistant pay calculator. Thank you guys for being with us today on the Covet session, and we'll open it up to a Q&A if you guys have questions. So get them in the chat box. So I do see some right here. And if Katina, if you have questions too, let me know, and we'll pull this up.
I always have to say it's so amazing watching you work. Like you're so passionate about what you do. And I think other stylists need to hear that. The Covet community is all about collaboration over competition every time. And for you to share your wealth of knowledge and give people a space to say, hey, I don't know the answer, or what do you think about this is such a beautiful thing.
Oh, stop it. Thank you so much. That's why I adore you guys. Cause I mean, that motto is true and true with us too inside LG Education. I'll be the first to say, I don't know everything. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I know a lot about hiring and training co-stylists and growing a team. That's my niche. You guys know everything in the extension market, in the hair world. And so I say, find, there's coaches out there through different seasons in life of who you need at that moment and finding, and I love that you guys bring those type of educators like myself and other people inside the Covet community to help your people out. That's incredible. So thank you.
Of course. Like you said, we don't know everything. So ask an expert. Like you never know what nugget you'll take from someone else.
I love that. Thank you. Okay. I think we did have a couple questions. Let me scroll up real quick. Okay, Camry said, let's say they're your first assistant. How do you help them see how they'll fit into your day without them actually seeing you actively working with an assistant? There's a learning curve with everything. Camry, can you explain that a little bit further? Let's say it's your first assistant. How do you help them see how they'll fit into your day without them actually seeing you actively working with an assistant. So that's why we do the 3-step interview process. If they come in on the 3rd interview and they're in the salon, they're gonna see you working, with your current co-stylist, or not if you haven't ever had one yet. I think that's what you're saying if it's your first assistant. How do you help them see? Okay, I get it now. If that is your first one, they won't. They're not going to see you work with an assistant because you've never worked with one before. But that's why you would lay out all the expectations. And inside of our Ultimate Assistant Guide, that's where you say, these are the expectations. You would be handing me foils. You would be coloring with me. You would be doing this, and lay it all out. Even though they won't see it with their own 2 eyes because they're going to be your first assistant, you still want to give them those expectations and daily duties. And all of that is laid out in our guide. That's a great question. Okay, yeah, she said you don't have one. Yeah, I love that. Okay, I think that might have been the only one. Last but not least, I will say that this does not expire. Now, we are closing the doors to the Assistant University on November 5th at midnight, 11:59 p.m. We're closing the doors. So the covet code expires on November 5th. It's election night. So I'm thinking if you're voting that day for our next president, the doors are closing to the AU, all right? But the content never expires. That's what I want to say. Once you join and you're in the Assistant University, you get any updates that we make. You can come to the Q&A calls. You've got all the bonuses that we've given, but I want you to know that you guys can always forever come back on the resources, the tools, and the training. So let's say, like I said, you take a break or you decide, wait, where was that job offer letter? Or where was that write-up form? If you got a write-up team member up, come back in there into our platform and grab it and use it. We want it to be something that you guys are using forever inside of your business. So would you suggest letting them help if they want to? Yeah, for sure. If you have a shadow date with someone and they want to sweep or hand foils or do whatever, a lot of times they will. If they're go-getters, they're going to say, oh, I can help with that, or I can help mix this color or whatever. Let them help you. I wouldn't let them color on your guest because you haven't seen their technical ability yet, but I would absolutely let them help do the small things if they'd like. That's a great question. So, okay, we're at the hour now. Any other questions, Katina?
None that I can see, but like I said, this is always so helpful, and we'll definitely be sending out the replay for the Covet community. Check your email. Remember, the doors close for the AU November 5th at 12, you said, Lacey?
Yeah, 11:59 p.m. Midnight, we're closing. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, do you have one last piece of advice that you can give for people that are interested in pushing that button, but they're a little hesitant before we go?
2 things. Courage comes before confidence. That's stuck with me, I feel like, for the last year of you're never going to feel fully ready. And I think a lot of people wait too long in life in general just to make the move. Maybe you're waiting too long to fire all your haircutting guests. Maybe you want to go solely extensions. Maybe you want to invest in concealed or switch extension methods or whatever. And I feel like we wait too long. So I say, jump in, take action. The clarity is going to come with time, and your confidence is going to come with time. So if you're scared to grow a team, if you're scared because you're hurt from a past assistant, if you have PTSD because you've hired someone and it hasn't worked out, there are so many fish in the sea. And I hate to say that, but it's true. There's so many other people out there that would love to be a part of your team. And that's what comes with entrepreneurship. Being a boss, being the employer, is you're going to have people come and go. Don't be scared. Jump in, pour and lead into these people with a servant heart. And when you do that, your team will grow. So jump in. And then last but not least, if you're on the fence, book a call with us. So if you're saying, I just don't know, or I've got an interesting situation, talk to me next week and we'll talk you through and see. I'll tell you, you're a great fit for the AU or you're not ready yet. I will never recommend something if I truly feel like it's not a good fit. So.
Well, Lacey, thank you so much for joining us for this Covet session and dropping so much knowledge. Like I said, Covet community, check your email. We'll definitely be sending the replays and all of the links that Lacey sent in the chat box. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys. See you guys later.